Type 1 are instantly eligible, and really all type 1 patients should be using these devices now because they're subsidized and they give great feedback and they help improve your care. Hello, I'm Dr Soji Swaraj. I'm a consultant physician and endocrinologist. So we look at people with hormonal issues, diabetes, thyroid, but I have a particular interest in metabolic syndrome and women with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, the beauty of the pumps is that the technology has advanced so much with artificial intelligence that we've almost got a closed-loop system, almost an artificial pancreas. So you have a very small device attached to a piece of plastic tubing that sits under your skin. That's changed every 3 days. So instead of injecting 4 times a day, you have a pump continuously delivering glucose, and you have a sensor monitoring your glucose 24/7 and talking to the pump. So with the artificial intelligence in the pump gets to learn about you and the rate of change of your insulin and your glucose. And ultimately we can say to the pump, please keep your glucose levels in this range, and the pump will assist us 24/7 adjusting itself to keep the glucose in range. We've developed a pump service for insulin pumps for patients with type 1 diabetes predominantly who would like to use the new pump technology. Now, actually, a lot of people with type 2 diabetes who are requiring multiple daily injections of insulin could also be candidates for pumps. But in Australia, type 1 diabetic patients who have the blood test to prove they've got type 1 have a subsidy for all the pump consumables from the government, as well as the glucose monitoring. And if you're in a health fund, the health fund will subsidise your pump. CGM stands for continuous glucose monitoring, and there's 2 types. One is flash monitoring, whereby you have a patch attached to your arm, a disc which sits there for 2 weeks before it falls off, and you can use the software on your mobile phone to turn the phone into a scanner, so you could just scan your glucose instead of pricking your fingers. So a lot of people with diabetes find that much nicer than pricking their fingers all the time, but it also gives them real-time feedback on their food choices. You can see which foods spike your sugar on your iPhone. So that's flash monitoring, and real continuous monitoring. You've got other devices such as the Dexcom and the Guardian, which are now all available and subsidized for people with type 1 diabetes since June of this year, the federal government's. And again, there's a lot of people who are eligible but just haven't got round or know that they can. So we'll be providing that service for people. With type 2, it's not subsidized, but it's still affordable for a lot of people to have one of those devices on for 2 weeks every now and again. So with the people who are overweight and with diabetes, we'll be encouraging in the clinic people to use that device for 2 weeks to give them instant feedback on all their food choices in that shopping trolley of that 2 weeks to see which foods spike their insulin, their glucose, and are likely to put on weight, and which foods don't. And we think that's really powerful feedback in their food choices. Access to the devices. So patients with diabetes should be talking to their GP or to their endocrinologist about that, or their diabetes educator. And if they don't have any of the above, they can talk to their GP about coming to see us, and we'll be very happy to help them with that.